For Vice President Kamala Harris, it's been an eventful and rocky 2 years.
It is time to reassess our view of Kamala Harris.
Her first big task came as border czar to tackle the immigration crisis.
We have a secure border.
The reality, however, is it's anything but secure. According to Customs and Border Patrol, the number of migrants crossing the border in fiscal year 2021 amounted to the highest on record. Voters took note.
Do you think she's been a good border czar?
I don't. It's really a joke, and everyone knows it.
Headlines screaming, "You call this secure?" And video of immigrants bust to cities like New York, Chicago, and D.C. haven't been good either. Earlier this year, after Texas Governor Greg Abbott dropped off some 50 illegal immigrants outside of her D.C. residence, critics called her slow to act or do much at all.
La frontera es cerrado or abierto?
Abierto.
Former Department of Homeland Security Deputy Secretary Ken Cuccinelli says Harris's inaction is exactly the point.
This is the desire of the radical left. Eliminate our borders because America is not special to them. We're not unique. And part of the way they want to drag us down into the pack of the rest of the world is by eliminating our sovereignty, eliminating our borders. And the Biden administration has at every step done what the radical left wants them to do.
And speaking of that side of the political spectrum, Harris also took on the self-proclaimed role as point person on abortion. Headlines detail how she's become more aggressive in the fight over abortion in America, especially since Roe was overturned. Her tactics, however, have been seen as controversial by using faith to make her pro-choice argument.
You don't have to change your faith or abandon your faith or your deeply held beliefs to agree. The government should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. We are not asking anyone to compromise their beliefs or abandon their faith. To support a woman's ability, not her government, but her, to make that decision does not require anyone to abandon their faith.
Tyron Rose Mandelberg of the Media Research Center says using faith as a sell for abortion is tough sledding.
Kamala Harris is just trying to justify abortion by using the Bible as a way of, furthering her claims. But abortion is completely antithetical to the Bible's teachings. In the Bible, we see the Lord says, "You knit me together in my mother's womb." So in your mother's womb, that's the moment of conception. God knew that we were going to be created from the moment of conception.
In addition to this being seen as an anti-biblical view of the issue, Mandelberg adds the danger is that many Christians might buy into the argument, given the power of Harris's position.
We have all of these Christians, hundreds of millions of people voting for abortion because they think that, since Kamala Harris said abortion and the Bible work together, then you've got all of those millions of Christians who are now going to vote for abortion because they think that it's biblical. So this is just a political ploy, and just honestly, it's propaganda.
As for the vice president, criticism isn't limited to abortion and immigration, as she's made some flubs on the international stage as well.
I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank and our NATO allies, and what is at stake at this very moment.
She's also drawn unflattering headlines for some head-scratching comments that conservatives say prove Harris isn't prepared or equipped for the job at hand.
Space, it affects us all, and it connects us all.
Who doesn't love a yellow school bus, right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right? There's something about and most of us, many of us went to school on the yellow school bus, right?
Longtime conservative icon George Will keeps track of what he sees as the VP's shortcomings, writing an op-ed entitled, "For the Good of the Country, Biden and Harris Should Bow Out of the 2024 Election." Will goes on to write, quote, "Enough. She sounds like someone giving a book report on a book she has not read. Her style betrays a self-satisfied exaggeration of her aptitudes, lacking natural talent she needs to prepare, but evidently doesn't. Complacency and arrogance make a ruinous compound. It's pretty clear reviews for Harris's first 2 years haven't been great. Many will be watching and waiting to see how the Biden administration positions her high-profile workload over the next 2 years, especially as talk of a re-election campaign gets louder. David Brody, CBN News, Washington.